Welcome to the fourth edition of the ATS Show, the informative program around applicant tracking systems. My name is Liesbet De Rouck, I'm your host of today. Today we are talking about Salesforce. So Salesforce is a huge platform, but more specifically about recruitment on Salesforce. We have a couple of guests in the show who are all three gonna pitch their ATS on Salesforce. And let's start with Michael Nelen from Tigris. Michael, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
My name is Michael Nelen, 7-year experience in the temporary employment agency market. In the first years as recruiter and later on the marketing department on a mid-size agency. At that company we are looking for a recruitment system. We had already a good back office system, but they are not integrated together and there was no total solution in the market. So after a long search we decided to develop it by ourselves. Because we think we can only create the best customer and candidate experience when we have the total journey in one software solution.
That sounds interesting, Michael. So give us your 120-second pitch.
Tigris is a platform special for temporary employment agencies. The total scope of the platform is starts with job marketing, recruitment, operations and payrolling. At the start of Tigris we think about three parties. First the employer, the employee and the agency. And the difficult part is all to come together to a job. And what you see in the market, most software is developed with only the agency in mind. So you can fill in the hours as employee, approve them as employer, and the agency do the invoicing and the payment. Now we don't develop everything by ourselves in the platform. We have an ecosystem with the best. We have best of breed solution with partners in this ecosystem. One of that partners is Numbers. This is the payroll engine in the background. Others like Autonomy for matching of candidates and TextQL for the parsing. And all these integrations work together. Here you see an image of the total scope of an agency. It starts at the front with job marketing and content marketing. How can I find the right candidates and attract them to my website? Apart front office, sales, service and recruitment, it's the ATS part. And the mid office for operations, creating contracts, give the right salary and digital signing. And at the end the back office for finance and control, dus the payrolling based on weekly, 4-weekly and monthly, and the invoicing. This total scope is developed on Salesforce with all the benefits of Salesforce that we discuss later. And we have an native app on the iOS and Android for employee and employers. This is developed on Amazon with real-time communication with Salesforce.
Thanks for your pitch, Michael. Very, very nice to see that everything comes together like that. So, and then our introduction of Arno de Haan from Mysolution. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Arno.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Arno de Haan. I'm one of the founders of the company Mysolution, where we focus on staffing and recruitment software. My role there is the product development mainly, to think about our products and what we should build and for which areas. I'm also married, have 4 children and I live in Amersfoort.
Okay, cool. That's really nice to hear. So let's move to the pitch and tell us in 120 seconds what Mysolution actually does.
How can Mysolution help you to expand your horizon for staffing and recruitment software? Mysolution is a Dutch company founded in 2005, and we focus on 4 industries: temporary staffing, secondment, recruitment, corporate recruitment. Our strategy begins with our commitment to customer. We really want to focus on the customer's business, understand the needs, and from that perspective build the best software for the industry. To build this software, we think that it's very good for customers that we use the leading platforms Salesforce and Microsoft, because you're always technologically up to date, there's a lot of standard functionality, and you have a world of external applications at your disposal. Our software should always be standard and flexible, secure and open. If we look to our ATS you see here a picture of the functions of the ATS, and of course this contains all functions which you would expect, beginning with registration of candidates and jobs, publication of those jobs to websites, of course communication tools, matching tools, and an extensive workflow module which guides the users in the task they have to do and which helps you to monitor your work. How is this ATS positioned within the total software? Well, the ATS is within the front office, where we also have the CRM and marketing module, but we also support the mid office for contracting, documents, validation, digital signing, and that kind of process. This is all built in the Salesforce platform. But also we've got our back office software, more focused on HR, payroll, timesheets, invoicing, and GL, and that part we support with the Microsoft Dynamics software.
Thanks, Arno, for this interesting insights into Mysolution and what it can do for recruiters. Then we move on to Roy Hollack from Bullhorn. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Roy.
Yeah, so my name is Roy Hollack. I'm a Salesforce specialist at Bullhorn, and I'm also responsible for the delivery team in Rotterdam. I have a background in recruitment. I worked for Young Capital before, and after that I worked as an IT consultant within the Randstad organization. And that was also the moment when I came in touch with Connexus, the product of Bullhorn. It was implemented there, and I was so surprised by this product and by the platform that they were using that I said, okay, I want to be a part of this company. So I applied for the job. It went all really fast, and I could start immediately as an implementation consultant. Did a lot of projects in the Netherlands, but also abroad, Germany, Poland, Sweden, London, and that's it.
Okay, and how long have you been at Bullhorn now?
So it's almost 4 years now. Yeah, so 4 years at Connexus and later on Bullhorn. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's now move to a pitch of Bullhorn.
Yeah.
You have 120 seconds. Go for it.
Thank you.
So Bullhorn is an international software organization specialized in recruitment software. This started in 1999 from a small student room somewhere in Boston, and we're able to grow to an international organization with almost 1,000 employees within 2 decades. They did it by organic growth, but also by acquisitions, like with the acquisition of Connexus that introduced Bullhorn to the Salesforce platform. All over the world we have almost 8,000 clients. Some of these can be seen here. We have the biggest staffing agencies worldwide that work with products of Bullhorn, of which only Randstad, Adecco, and for instance PageGroup work on the Salesforce platform with over 20,000 users together. And working on the Salesforce platform allows us to deliver a seamless, flexible product for our clients. So one of the products is the Bullhorn Connexus product, which is also built on Salesforce, and that product exists already for 6 years. It's not really a standardized product, but it's a product that we've created over the years together with our clients. So we co-create with our clients. We don't tell our clients how to work with the product, but we ask our clients how we should improve our product so that it fits to their special needs that they have. This allows us to bring a strong product to the market that is really flexible for smaller and bigger staffing agencies. And since the acquisition with Bullhorn, we also have a strong financial backbone that allows us to either deliver a better product to the market. So only last year we received an investment of 5 million euros that allows us to create an integration with LinkedIn. So we are a platinum partner of LinkedIn now, and that allowed us to completely rebuild our product to Lightning Experience, which is the new Salesforce user interface. So yes, we are a big international organization, but we are operating locally from an office in Rotterdam with over 90 employees. So this allows us to deliver support, marketing and sales, and professional services in the local language and in the local culture. And this is what I think makes Bullhorn a strong organization for recruitment software.
Thanks, Roy, for that interesting pitch of Bullhorn. So we now had everyone. Let's move on to the Q&A session. Let's start with the basics. What is Salesforce actually?
Well, Salesforce is a cloud-based CRM system, but it's much more than a CRM system. In fact, it also has modules for marketing, service, artificial intelligence, etc., etc. And what differentiates Salesforce is that it's very good to use to build a vertical solution on it.
And I think also one of the powers of Salesforce is that not only the software gets delivered, but also a toolkit which allows users to tweak the application themselves. I think that's also powerful. You can make a lot of changes without actually coding.
Right.
Yeah, and then the community around the platform, there are really much developers that work daily on the platform.
Yeah.
So new tools or the kind of things comes every day. This makes it possible to innovate faster than other companies that are not on a platform like Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics.
Yeah, okay. So and why have you guys chosen to actually build on Salesforce? What is the real differentiating factor in that sense?
So for us it was the flexibility of the platform. Like I said, users can customize themselves, but it also allows us as a software company to customize our product for our clients. And so we don't need to deliver a standard software. We can completely tweak the software to the processes that are specific for our customers, and that's what I think makes the Salesforce platform unique to the others.
Yeah, what was also important for us is that the platform is very user friendly, and that's a much underestimated thing, but it's very important. So user friendliness is top. And I agree with you. It's very flexible as well, and it makes it good for companies to tweak it to their own business processes.
An important step at Salesforce was at the time that they completely built a new UI around the old platform, because if we don't do it, if they don't take that action, they don't exist anymore. Maybe.
Yeah.
So now they are very competitive for other platforms.
Okay, cool. So and one of the key elements of Salesforce are the different modules. So tell us a little bit more about how you handle these modules in your ATSs.
Well, for us, the CRM module is a very important one, because an ATS process is more or less like CRM. You need a lot of CRM functionalities in your ATS. So that's an important basis that you can use. But also the toolkits for dashboarding, reporting, and for customizing, that's all things you use in your ATS, in fact.
We also see that other departments of our clients, like the marketing department, is also using Salesforce technology with Marketing Cloud. So they can do candidate marketing, or they can do specific marketing on their clients. And you can basically see it as one platform with multiple tools on it that all collaborate, and that eventually is beneficial for our customers.
The example that I always give is you have Android store, iOS store for your mobile phone. You install an application like Facebook, but Facebook can read the contacts on your phone. So like Salesforce have also accounts, contacts, and different applications can work with that information.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah. Good to also give an example that I understand, kind of, or that the listener understands in this. So there's different portals in recruitment. In recruitment, we want candidate portals and we want client portals, and you have the standards of Salesforce, I can imagine. What are the different options in that?
Yes, so at our clients we see different business purposes for this. We have clients that have portals on Salesforce communities, that's Salesforce technology, where candidates can log in, log their time, enter their timesheets, change their contact information, for instance. But we also have clients that build their own portals with their own technology. For instance, a client portal, which allows a client to search in a database, pick a candidate, and then an opportunity in Salesforce is created. Yeah, we have that. And especially, I think that's also one of the powers of Salesforce. You can build your own technology on top of Salesforce, and by using the APIs of Salesforce, you can pull and push data back into the system.
Yeah. With our application, it was not possible to develop it on Salesforce because we choose Heroku, it's a cloud platform of Salesforce. Okay. The reason is that we can connect multiple Salesforce environments, so agencies, to one candidate, and the candidate need to change one time his information and sync to all environments in Salesforce. So the information is always up to date, and the candidate don't need to change it 10 times, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, well, what we do We have the front office process in Salesforce and the back office in Microsoft Dynamics, and we've built a hybrid portal which looks to both environments. That's also a possibility you have.
Yeah, that is a big advantage of the flexibility of Salesforce, I can imagine. Yeah. So talking about adding stuff in Salesforce, then we maybe move to the App Exchange. So what is the App Exchange, and what, as a client, can I expect from it?
Yeah, so for most of our customers, what I see, it's basically a candy store. They see all the possibilities of apps in the App Store. It's like Michael said, it's like having an iPhone, opening up the App Store and downloading apps and installing apps. And that's also something that you can do on the Salesforce platform. We do see some standard applications that support standard business processes, like document generation, document signing, MailChimp, email marketing, data validation for accounts. The world is open to our clients for that.
And not every app that is available is on the App Exchange. There are a lot of apps that are not in the store itself, but you can install it as well.
Okay. Yeah. Can you give us some examples about these apps and what they can do with it?
The quality of the app on the App Exchange is good. It's most of the time flexible. For example, you have reviews tooling. You can install it with the other applications on the Salesforce platform. And for example, when an intake is done and automatically a review is sent and the information comes back into the system. Dus what's the ranking? And you can make dashboarding on it. Or when it's a bad ranking, directly call to that candidate. What's the reason? Did I something wrong, for example?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. An interesting example might be for company data, that you want to validate data from your accounts. You don't want to type in all the numbers manually. You want to be sure that it's correct. There's just an app in the App Exchange that you can use to validate that data and get it into your Salesforce. And that's very easy. Can
you elaborate a little bit on company data?
Yeah, like KVK number and that kind of stuff, the correct names of the company, the structure of the company. You can get it from outside, and that's a standard thing in the App Exchange, which is very easy.
This is maybe not important at the recruitment part, but if you have also payrolling on the Salesforce platform, it's a lot more important.
And recruitment marketing, how do we handle that on Salesforce?
We, for instance, have a standard integration with Vonk. It's a Dutch party for recruitment marketing. So we have the possibility to post our jobs via Vonk to multiple channels. Marketing Cloud can be used for that. You have different email marketing tools that can be leveraged. Yeah.
For example, Marketing Cloud is you can do really cool stuff because you can track rows on the website, what time and what form is filled. Dus you can use many data in that way. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sometimes you already know that there is a candidate without having him entered into the system. He didn't even apply to a job, but he was already on the website. We know what he was looking for. Maybe we can push some jobs to him that might trigger his interest to eventually apply, because you want to have that candidate in the system eventually.
Or in the form, why you fill the phone number if you know the phone number in the database already.
And the big advantage, of course, is that data is already in your Salesforce. And when you use an external marketing tool, it's also possible, but then you always have to make an integration between it. So this is much more strong.
Okay, cool. That's and then, for example, with assessments, how do we work with that?
So we have a functionality built in that is a basic assessment functionality. We can ask some questions and see the answers. And we sometimes also see that we integrate with assessment partners in the Netherlands, because sometimes a client already chose an assessment party with their software. So then we need to leverage that, and we need to use that, and we need to integrate with that.
Yeah, what you see is that the needs for assessments are different in different types of business. If you have students on call centers, for example, you need different assessment tools than if you are an executive search company.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So there's a wide variety of options again there. I guess that's a little bit the summary of the App Exchange, is that everything's possible, really.
Yeah, but it's also a danger.
Yeah.
And does your ATS work as well with every app on the App Exchange, or is there a preferred list of collaborators for you guys?
We developed our tool, or our app, so much as possible in the standard way of Salesforce, so we can use end products of Salesforce and apps on the App Exchange. But if the app on the App Exchange is not in that way or in the right way developed, then it can, then you need to do more customization to keep it working.
We tend to see the same questions at the different customers, so they all want this, they all want that, and then of course we have a list of preferred apps that we know work good and that might fulfill the client's requirements.
And is that then, if they're adding an app out of the App Exchange, is that included in their license model? And what is the license model?
Yeah, in fact, they can do it themselves. A customer can add an app from the App Exchange, and there's a price model with the party who created the app.
Okay.
That's the way it works.
Yeah. And there are some rules from Salesforce which apps you can install on each other, because you need to pay, of course, for both apps.
Okay. So and the pricing model of Salesforce, is that everywhere the same, or what can the clients expect?
Well, Salesforce has a standard price model, which you can see on the Salesforce website, but that's for the standard modules, which are always sold through Salesforce. We as partners create our own vertical solution, and we have our own pricing for that, and that doesn't go through Salesforce. So that's in fact apart from the standard Salesforce price model.
Okay. Yeah. So looking at your customer base, what does your client portfolio look like?
Yeah, so we mainly focus on the medium and larger staffing agencies. Those are the most interesting clients to us. I think 8 out of the 10 biggest staffing agencies worldwide are on Salesforce at Bullhorn. So that's mainly where we focus. And I think the reason is that they've already chosen for Salesforce, maybe in a different department, and then they want to install an ATS on top of that. Or it's because they want to have self-control over the application. They don't want to be depending on a software vendor that has maybe monthly, yearly releases or so on, but they want to make their own adaptations to the system after they went live. So that's I think more what you see at the bigger clients. At least that's what we see.
Yeah, for us it's staffing companies, but also recruitment and executive search companies, and also corporate recruiters. And the sizes vary. We have quite small and quite big customers on Salesforce, and we try to help them all.
And we focus on the mid-size agencies. For example, they also do the payrolling for weekly, 4-weekly or monthly payrolling, because this is really complex. That's our focus market.
So, and if we're then looking at implementing an ATS on Salesforce, because I think, okay, it's a system, this is it. How customizable is it? How flexible is it?
Yeah, it's really flexible. You can make a complete different application out of it if you want to. What we usually do in a project is we have a package solution that's a kind of vanilla best practice solution that we also demo to the clients. But within a project, within the implementation, we do workshops with clients to gather their requirements, to tweak what we have in the application to fit to their business processes. We can really go wild in it and do everything, but I think also the goal is to stick to standards, because standards are there for a reason, but it is very flexible, and that's also what I think is the power of Salesforce.
That's right, and what's very nice is that you can also package your contents. So if you have standard email templates, for example, well, you can just package them and deliver them to the customer. And if you do that, the implementation can be very easy, but at the same time you can go, as you say, you can go all the way if you want. So that makes it quickly implementable, but also very big if you want.
The first appointment with our customer, we discuss how do you work at this moment. Would look at the process and help them starting with Salesforce. And in the same time we train one admin user in the company. Don't need to be a developer, but it needs a person that have good analytics skills. So he can make his own dashboarding, own process, because you don't want to call for every little change to our company.
Yeah, what's perhaps a very nice thing to say is that Salesforce has done a lot of effort to bring technical things down to not technical people, so that you can point and click to make a process work or to make a dashboard work. And that's really great feature.
And that they don't, they help us as a vendor of Salesforce to help our customers as well. Dus we can give our customers portals that they can learn how to set up things, for example.
I think Trailhead is a great example of that. It's an online training a tool. The first time I saw it, I was amazed by it, because you can do everything, and it's also kind of playful.
Yeah, it's a fun factor. You can get some badges if you do something.
And they are really good at that, and that's something that they also bring to the market for software vendors like us, so we can use that technology for our clients to train our clients in our products. And
So in talking about these implementations, because I hear there's a lot of different flavors, but and that you can, you take our standard, or you can go full blown, I want a cowboy with a hat, and I can have that too. But is that all included in your pricing, or how does that then work? Is there an implementation cost next to the licensing model?
Yeah, so we sell licenses so that they have access to the product, and we sell a project via statement of work, where we define this is what we're going to do for you. This is how much time it would cost, and this is the time frame that we foresee for this project. So it's basically two costs to the client.
Yeah, that's the same for us. You definitely need implementation.
You need implementation, but we have a bit of different view. We want to sell licenses, and we don't want to sell only consultancy hours. It's because if you need to build two different companies, you can do it. You can build it in one company, I think.
These sounds like pretty big projects to me.
No, it doesn't have to be. It can be very small as well. We've got bigger but also smaller customers, and at a small customer you can set up a situation in a few days, so that can be really quick.
I always recommend a customer to start small and activate other modules later, because if you have many modules and you don't use them, why you activate them?
Yes, I've seen projects where I was alone and did a project in 5 or 6 days, but I've also been in projects with other software companies and other consulting firms. There were like 30 or 40 people involved externally, and the project took 2 years. So it really depends on what the actual ask is of the client, and if there are also other applications or projects involved.
And it's important that when you deliver the software, it's important that we understand the business where our customers are. If you hire an external company that don't understand the business, it's very hard to do a good implementation.
And I think I see some clients, when they choose for Salesforce, it's not just because of the product, but it is because they are in a digital transformation. So the Salesforce product or the front office that they're replacing is not the only thing that they're replacing. They're going through the whole organization, through the whole architecture, and they clean it all up, and they make a lot of new decisions.
You don't choose for one solution, you choose for the Salesforce platform, and you start building your organization on that platform.
Right. And in many cases, when you start a new implementation, there's always 1 or 2 people at the customer who already know Salesforce, and that also helps a lot to implement.
I can imagine. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for these interesting insights around doing recruitment on Salesforce. For more interesting videos around applicant tracking systems, go to recruitmenttech.com. I'll see you next month.